Thank you for joining us. And Eric, thank you for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Just a few questions I had for you. One is, the energy industry faces unprecedented array of challenges right now, such as dealing with the need for massive transmission build-out, integrating new renewable energy sources like wind and solar, building out new clean coal and nuclear generation. Trillions of dollars will be spent in the coming decade, and at the same time, new technologies and businesses are rapidly emerging and getting established. What are the major challenges, threats, and opportunities facing the power industry from these game-changing developments?
Well, I think the challenges, as you point out, are many, and they go across the entire value chain of the energy industry, from generation, transmission, distribution, on down to and into the consumer. And so I think the primary challenge that I see is that we don't have a regulatory environment that allows us to deal with those challenges in a comprehensive manner. Too often, each of those are taken as kind of a siloed decision, and there are unintended consequences and frankly lost opportunities that come from not looking at the picture holistically from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, building off that, what can Congress and the Obama administration and federal regulators do to help the industry tackle these enormous tasks ahead?
Well, there's a challenge because, of course, our industry has historically been more dominated by state activities than it has by federal policy. And yet the federal role is increasing as time goes by. I think for all regulators from the Obama administration on down, the most important thing that can be done is to provide certainty. This is an industry that does not like uncertainty very well, and that tends to paralyze people from taking action when they don't know how the rules are going to play out going forward. So if we could get certainty around carbon policy, if we could get certainty around some of the other regulatory policies, the FERC relationship with the states and the independent system operators, I think that would go a long way to helping to set up a stable framework for these things to be addressed.
Mm-hmm. And how has the economic downturn affected the power industry and its ability to keep the lights on in an affordable manner that is socially acceptable?
Well, I think we're only starting to see that challenge. In the short term, it's actually probably provided some benefit. There's been flat load growth, and that's probably helped to hide some of the aging infrastructure issues that we know we face. But that's not a game that we can play for very long, because there will be an increased need for infrastructure investment. And if that's done against a flat to maybe shrinking load base, what you're going to see is a dramatically increased rate of energy fees going up. So you'll see rates within the utilities that have been from 1972 to 2000 being lower in real terms, starting to become higher, outpacing the pace of inflation pretty dramatically. And that's going to create challenges because people are going to start to talk about the price of energy as an inhibitor to economic growth. And that's a cycle that's hard to break.
Mm-hmm. So over the last few years, we've seen the federal government spend tens of billions of dollars on R&D, smart grid, infrastructure, all in the name of economic stimulus. How do you think those investments have panned out?
Well, I think there are some great success stories now coming out. As people likely know, things take a long time in our industry. Things don't tend to happen overnight. And so monies that were spent through, say, smart grid investment grant monies a couple of years ago were granted, but that money was only spent last year. And we're just now starting to see some of the results of those programs. And they're very encouraging. The programs around consumer engagement, integrating electric vehicles or distributed storage, building self-healing grids are all showing a real economic value to the utilities, to their consumers. And I think as those results start to get published here in 2011, that's going to help set some good models for people to follow as they implement their smart grids. But I would throw out that as we travel around the world and our company works on a global basis, the amount of money that's being spent here in the U.S. is a fraction of what other countries and other regions are spending. So as we think about a global game of reinventing the energy industry, people talk a lot about the dollars that are being spent here, but we need to appreciate that the total dollars that are being spent in the U.S. are a fraction of what's being spent overseas.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing
Thanks for having
your
me.
thoughts with us. Thank you, Eric.
Appreciate it.